Good evening, I'm Keisha Butts with a CTV News update. The U.S. economy adds 235,000 jobs in August, and the jobless rate falls to 5.2%. But the numbers are disappointing, according to President Biden. Job growth has averaged 586,000 monthly this year, so the August numbers have dropped more than 50%. Biden blames the Delta variant, and he's calling on Congress to pass his economic agenda.
House and Senate have to advance my Build Back Better agenda. That bill contains critical investments in child care to make it easier for families to be able to go to work and assure their child is being taken care of. And home care for seniors, the polling data shows among your generation, all of you out here, your greatest concern is caring for your elderly parent, even more than your child. It's about paid leave, allowing people with a new child or a sick spouse at home to take care of them without risking losing their paycheck.
The death toll from the remnants of Hurricane Ida continues to climb in the Northeast. According to the Associated Press, 49 people have died. Police continue to search for more potential victims. The deadly storm caused major flooding in homes, subway stations, and streets in parts of the tri-state area. Maryland's comptroller extends tax deadlines for businesses and emergency responders in Anne Arundel County. This comes after a tornado swept through the area on Wednesday, damaging several homes and businesses. Maryland motor fuel tax license holders also have a one-month extension to file their August 2021 tax returns. They're now due at the end of October. For more information, visit marylandtaxes.gov. A former Prince George's Police lieutenant is indicted on federal tax evasion charges and obstruction of justice. 47-year-old Edward Scott Finn owned and operated a private security company as a second job while employed with the county. The indictment alleges that between 2014 and 2021, Finn underreported more than $1 million of his income on his tax returns. It also alleges that he obstructed justice by erasing and resetting his cell phone as federal agents executed a search warrant at his residence. Finn has a long history of alleged abuse cases cases against him during his tenure with the police department, including the death of a man while in police custody. Exonerated in most of those cases and often received promotions and pay raises afterward. County children are going back to school in just 5 days. With lingering concerns about COVID-19, the county's chief administrative officer, Dr. George Askew, is urging parents to get their children vaccinated if they're eligible. He's also urging students to make sure they're following all safety protocols, including social distancing.
It's not just, social distancing. It's social distancing. It's mask wearing. It's appropriate and frequent hand hygiene, again, wearing masks, and for those who can be vaccinated, getting vaccinated. For staff that can be vaccinated, getting vaccinated. So it's really about laying layer upon layer of protections that make going back to school as safe as it is.
Dr. Askew also suggests that children bring extra masks and hand sanitizer with them to school. Meantime, he's urging parents to make sure their kids are up to date with all immunizations. With the Labor Day weekend upon us, we decided to check in with AAA's Jon Townsend about what he expects for the traveling public over the next few days. In a word, Townsend says holiday travel this weekend is unpredictable. He says it's due to the spreading Delta variant. Normally, Townsend says some 45 million Americans travel during the Labor Day weekend. But with the COVID surge, many people may reset their travel plans.
In the Washington metro area, we can expect anywhere from 500,000 to 800,000 persons to travel. The same is true in the state of Maryland, about 800,000 people. But again, it's all conjecture, because what we've seen is in the last few weeks, travel intentions have changed as people have become increasingly alarmed about the Delta variant and the safety and the wisdom of traveling.
Townsend says if you do travel, follow COVID protocols, and after nearly 2 decades with AAA, Townsend is hanging up his hat and retiring. We'll have more on his career a little later in the show. You're watching CTV News. I'm Keisha Betts. We'll be back in a moment.
COVID-19 is a severe lung infection. Trust the American Lung Association for science-based public health information, especially for the 36 million Americans who live with lung disease. We have launched the COVID-19 Action Initiative to end COVID-19 and address future respiratory virus pandemics. Access our free lung health resources and see how you can support our initiative.
Thank you for staying with us. Here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for our area. The State Health Department has confirmed 1,387 new cases since yesterday. 203 of those were in Prince George's. The county's positivity rate is 4.89% and stands at 5.68%. 10 people have died in Maryland from the coronavirus since yesterday. 812 remain hospitalized. That's 34 more than yesterday. Maryland hits a major milestone in its mission to get more residents protected from COVID-19. The state reports 80% of Marylanders 12 years and older now have received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. The rate is 81.2% for adults 18 and older. 94.8% of Marylanders over 65 have received at least the first dose of the vaccine. And still ahead, a county educator is a finalist for the Maryland Teacher of the Year Award. Details next.
Hey you, stop and listen. This is a public service announcement with Dakari Chapman. Why should you know your Constitution and why should you know your rights as a U.S. citizen? How would you like it if someone didn't allow your club to meet at your house? I wouldn't, because that's not cool. How would you like to be tried without a jury? I wouldn't, because that's not cool. These things are not cool. Learn your rights as a U.S. citizen so you know what to do in these situations. Thanks for listening, and remember, it's an American thing, so learn it.
Welcome back. The 2021 Prince George's Teacher of the Year is in the running for Maryland's Top Educator Award. Adrienne Leak from Duval High has been named a finalist for the Maryland Teacher of the Year. She's one of 8 finalists. Leak spoke with CTV News last May when she won top honors in Prince George's. Officials will announce the state winner on October 7th. From holiday travel predictions to how to prepare for your car for the changing seasons, AAA's Jon Townsend has been the voice of reason. But after nearly 2 decades with the motoring agency, Townsend is retiring today. Byron Scott has our story.
Okay, Jon Townsend, you've been with AAA now 17 years. You were a reporter in Nashville. You also worked on Capitol Hill for many years. How did you wind up at AAA?
Through serendipity and a blessing of God. I was on Capitol Hill and something happened and I got upset, and one of the few times in my life I looked at the want ads and saw the opening and applied, and a couple of weeks later I was working at AAA by the grace of God. It's been a great job. I've enjoyed, it's one of the best jobs I've ever had. I've been blessed in my life to have had many opportunities in different fields, including on Capitol Hill, working for 11 years in the mayor's office, 10 to 12 years full-time in television, and altogether the span of my journalism career, probably 2 decades. So I've enjoyed it to the hilt.
I know I've talked to you over the years, and you've talked about how much you enjoy the job at AAA. What do you enjoy about it?
Well, because it's one of those rare jobs where well, my title says it all. It's Manager of Public and Government Affairs. And so we also are involved in legislation and local traffic safety issues, and then we do media relations for the company and government relations. So if there's anything impacting motorists or the AAA membership, that's what we were advocates for. And you know, one of the things that's happening in this country, there's this whole school of thought that cars are passé, that cars are dangerous, that drivers are dangerous. And there are dangerous drivers. There are drivers who drive impaired. And that's going to be a greater issue as more states legalize marijuana. and they're drowsy drivers. And one of the most pernicious problems out there would be the pandemic of distracted drivers. People are always on their electronic devices. So there are some bad actors out there. But if you think about it in the cosmic scheme of things, most people who drive, and there are over 200 million people in this country who have driver's licenses, are not bad drivers. But if you listen to certain elements out there, that's all they talk about.
So we have less than a minute here. I know, talking to you over the years and reading your press releases, there are certain things in there that I call Townsendisms. You talked about, use these phrases like traffic Armageddon. Yes. I believe you had one time that talked about the traffic from hell. Yes. Give us some others.
That the commute would be as bad as the commute from East Hades, or one that I was going to do this week, one that we didn't invent but use was to talk about the pandemic of drowsy driving after the coronavirus, somnia, like insomnia and the coronavirus, the combination of those words. We didn't invent that, but I put it out there in the currency and AAA circles because I think it is a great problem.
So today's your last day on the job. What's next for you?
I haven't decided yet. I'm just waiting to see what doors God opens up. That's been the basic tenet of my life. It's always been about open doors and open opportunities. And I've had a blessed life, and it's been a good ride.
Okay, Jon Townsend, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It's been a pleasure working with you, Byron. You're one of the best reporters around.
The Terps are ready to take on the Mountaineers. The college football season begins for the Maryland Terrapins tomorrow as they host West Virginia. The teams kick off at 3:30. The Terps have a losing record versus the Mountaineers, but hope to change things in their home opener.
It's definitely a steadying force for us to have a returning starter at quarterback. That's not been a luxury, at least during my 13 years here with that position, that to be able to come back and have a returning starter healthy, no questions about it.
It's excited to have the opportunity to go out with my team and display the hard work that we put in throughout this whole offseason. And got to take this one day at a time. Can't get too excited, and just starts in the preparations.
I think he has a very comfortable level with the receivers now after being able to be here a year and a half with these guys. This summer, being able to do the things with the player run practices and develop a chemistry.
He's the guy who's really got into this offense and really broken it down into his way. He's locked in and he's learned every position as if he plays every position. He's been that type of guy to learn inside and out and just to be able to see things before they happen. He's that type of guy that to change everything, whenever it's needed to be changed. He's that type of guy just to be able to push things forward and don't let things get down when adversity happens, and just be able to stay disciplined as a whole offense.
I take a lot of pride in being the leader of this football team. And, it's something that's, it comes with a lot of pressure, a lot of responsibility, but, that's what I have no other way.
We'll see this Saturday kind of if all the work and the things that he's done come to fruition and allowing him to go out and play really well for us.
Again, the Terps kick off tomorrow at 3:30. Let's get a quick check on our Labor Day weekend weather forecast. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 59. Saturday, sunny with a high near 81. Sunday, partly sunny with a high near 79. Labor Day, mostly sunny with a high near 84. And now for the community calendar, the Montpelier Arts Center introduces 2 new exhibits. Transformation is a unique exhibit featuring the work of 10 graduate students from the Maryland Institute College of Art. In the second exhibit, Celestial Bodies, artist Caroline McKinnon's vibrant colors show our relationship with nature. Starting September 7th, the Arts Center will be open for gallery tours Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. For more information, visit pgparks.com. And that wraps up our CTV News Update. I'm Keisha Butts. Have a good night.